Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, don't worry. I will tell you immediately why I am standing up, why I am not as usual on my chair. Because if you know the human body, you know that it's easier to digest when you are standing up. That's a fact that has been proven. Well, I'm still trying to digest all the news that arrived around 2 p.m. Italian time. Right before the start of the press conference of Max Allegri, we receive a notification, counter-analysis of Paul Pogba leaked, has been done, and the tests are again confirming that positivity to testosterone. I will come back on Paul Pogba towards the end of the video. But then Max, in the meanwhile, is arriving in press conference, he's sitting down, the first thing that he's saying, to tell everyone, to anticipate, he's saying Dusan Vlahovic and Federico Chiesa will not be at disposal for the game of tomorrow. Yes, we are speaking about the Derby della Mole. Yes, we are speaking about the game that this morning I told you how important it was to win before international break number 2. And if this morning, when I woke up, I was a bit pessimist and I was trying to accept already the news that and Dusan and Chiesa will not be there, Corriere dello Sport, they were giving me a bit of false hope because they were writing Allegri sorride, Max Allegri is smiling, Chiesa pronto per il derby. Chiesa is ready for the derby. He's not ready. He will not even be on the bench. He will be there on the stands. Disaster. I will tell you about the press conference of Max, how he was feeling. At a certain moment, he was really pissed off with a journalist. And then we'll go towards Pogba. So step by step, what it is that after saying that Dusan and Federico Chiesa will not be there, he also explained why. Dusan, low back pain, and yes, I tell you, it is a problem because it's a player that we waited all season long in 22-23 because he was suffering from growing pain, pubalgia, and now this season is suffering from lombalgia, low back pain. And it is a problem because he's our number one striker, because he's the one that we didn't want to lose for any other player in the world. We didn't want to. We wanted the potential young kid to prove himself. And he started fantastically well. 4 goals in 4 games. Boom. Lombalgia. Disaster. It is because of him. It is a problem. Not because of him, but we will have to accept it. And it is a problem if we are looking at the game of Atalanta, where we were not able to score any goal. The game of Lecce, we only scored 1 goal. He was present in the game of Lecce, was not able to start. He played a few minutes at the end, not enough to score and to help the team to go towards that second goal. Against Atalanta, he was not called up. It will be the second consecutive one that he will not be called up. But now it's also Federico Chiesa. What is the problem of Federico Chiesa? Yesterday, apparently, while taking a shot, he felt a discomfort. They did the test. Tests are negatives, and Max Allegri was explaining it. The tests are negative, so the medical test reports are saying he's okay. But talking with the kid, talking with him, I saw that he was a bit worried. Don't forget, he's coming back from a really long injury. And talking with him, we decided together not to risk him. Because if the tests are negative, and it's true, when talking with him, he's still telling me that he's feeling a bit of pain. I believe personally that it's the most annoying thing in the world because you have and not Vlahovic and not Chiesa. Can you blame Max? No, you can't. He's taking, according to me, the right decision. It already happened in the past. That medical tests were perfect, were okay. Paulo Dybala. Maurizio Sarri is playing him. He destroyed probably his entire career because after that second injury, while the tests were saying he's okay, we risked him and he missed nearly the entire season with Andrea Pirlo. Disaster. So, in that optic, I agree also because Max is telling you it already happened in the past. And then you risk a player and then it's not there for 4 weeks, for 6 weeks, and that's where the real drama begins. Anyway, he said, I told to the medical staff, I want 100% healthy players. I also want mentally players that are ready to play. Otherwise, it's a problem, then we leave them at home. But it's absolutely not an excuse. We have enough players. We have Milik, we have Moiskin, we have Yildiz, we have these players that can support us. He also spoke about other players that should also start to score. We will come back on that. What else did he say about these injuries? Because there was a journalist from La Stampa that started asking him a question about the chain muscular injury. And there Max Allegri was pissed off because he's saying it's not correct. What you are saying is not correct. Can you give me the names of the players of this season that had muscular injuries? Journalist couldn't answer, then he started Pogba. He said, but Pogba was not a muscular injury. He was coming back in rehabilitation from his knee. So it's not an injury of muscular identity. Who else? Moise Kean. He said, no, Moise Kean received a knock and he was trying to recuperate from that knock. Not a muscular injury. Who else? Journalist was really in difficulty. At the end, Max Allegri said we have only one player this season with a muscular injury, and we are speaking about Alexandro. That's it. So don't start to spread fake information and asking this kind of really strange question. I understand perfectly that he was pissed off, especially because that question arrived right after that he understood, because he didn't know when he arrived in the room, that Paul Pogba has been confirmed positive to testosterone, that we will come back on. Sorry. Then we go towards who possibly can play. Who can possibly play tomorrow? The question, of course, was about Kenan Yildiz. And I open brackets. Kenan Yildiz, congratulations to him, has been called up with the first team of Turkey. You know that he has the double citizenship, Germany and Turkey. He played all the youth national teams with Turkey, but they had the possibility to play with Germany. The new coach, Vincenzo Montella, for the people that love calcio, that have a bit of culture about calcio, you will, of course, remember Vincenzo Montella, player of Roma, player of Sampdoria, but also coach in Italy. Well, Vincenzo Montella called him up with the first team, so congratulations to him. If he plays 1 minute, he will be forever a player of the Turkish team, and I believe that he can play there. But anyway, I close the bracket again, I go back. He said, is he ready to play? Yes, he is ready to play. Of course, I need to evaluate the team because I need to understand. Looks like except of DUSAN and except of CHIESA, all the other players are at disposal, but I understand I will not change formation. So we play with a 3 in the back. We play with 5 in the midfield, with 2 up front. We stay with the same. Kenan Yildiz could be one of the players that could possibly play tomorrow. He didn't really answer the first time, but the last question was again about Kenan Yildiz, about tactical question. Could he possibly play as a trequartista behind the striker? And that's where he said that could be an option, because Yildiz is more a trequartista while Miretti is a bit more a midfielder. So, you know, even Gianluca Di Marzio a bit later, he was trying to say on Twitter, Kenan Yildiz, the possibilities of him starting are increasing. Is it a fact? Is it a promise? No. I remember that last week I was already starting to push after understanding that DUSAN would not be there. Well, tomorrow the chances are there, especially because Milik is right now recuperating from the injury, because you know that he was not there against Atalanta neither. So the chances are high. What will happen tomorrow? We will see. We will not change formation, he said. I'm expecting goals from the striker that we have, because we have Kean, Milik and Yildiz, he says. But also other people needs to score, like Rabiot, and especially a Fagioli and Miretti. Especially Fabio Miretti, I'm expecting goals from him. So will it be the time that Fabio Miretti will finally unlock himself in a derby for a kid that started at the youth academy with Juve and played millions of derbies? Well, that would be fantastic. Another player that I would love also to score a goal in the derby is probably Fagioli, because also him played so many derbies in the youth academy against Torino. What about Kean? Well, Kean is doing well and he will play. So we have a certainty Kean will play. Torino, he spoke about the team of Juric, always an aggressive team, a difficult team to play against, a team that is difficult with a real demanding coach. So he had shown a real big respect for a Juric that is always a difficult coach. We remember Verona and so on and so on. Beautiful story in Serie A. So don't take it with a grain of salt. Don't think that it's the Torino, it's an obligated win. Can be difficult, but we have to win at home. Anyway, then he spoke about the fact that a draw, was it okay without the striker? He said absolutely not. But even against Atalanta, we didn't, just accept the draw. Of course, it is annoying to draw. We are now never satisfied with a draw. And then he said, did we change our way of playing, or did we enter a comfort zone in forgetting everything that we did after that loss of Sassuolo? He said absolutely not, especially because that Sassuolo game was a game where we lost a lot of duels, where we did a lot of individual mistakes. So tomorrow, Kenan Yildiz percentages are growing for him to start. Kenan Yildiz and Moise Kean could be a surprising starting 11 in the starting 11 that 3-5-2. Then a few words about Paul Pogba. I'm devastated. Yeah, I'm not surprised because you know it since a few days on the channel. You know me really well. I was not even speaking about it anymore. I never said of the channel, I hope the test will be negative, because the chances for the counter analysis that they are negative are so minimal that I was not even hoping in it. Then he will have 7 days to ask to defend himself, to prove or that he was not conscious about it. And then if he can prove it, but it will take long, then the punishment, the ban will be between 1 and 2 years. He can find a plea deal. If he can't show that he was not conscious when he was taking testosterone, well, it can go up to 4 years. What about the club? Well, the club will take a decision soon, probably. We will see. We will follow the official communication about Paul Pogba. But I am really devastated because you know how much I love the player, how much I was happy to have him. We could have put his injuries into doubts. We could have, and a lot of you did, and I was also thinking that his injuries would probably not give us the 100% Paul Pogba that we knew. But anyway, Paul Pogba coming back to Juve, the enthusiasm that he brought and so on, it made me so happy. Well, I believe the dream of me to see live Paul Pogba, the one that made me dream when he was there since 2012, 2013, well, it went away. It's a bit too early for me to speak. Is it a flop? Yeah. Yes, it is a flop. Of course it is a flop, because last year he took the decision to not go in surgery and to push back. Then we can forgive, we can understand the human side, whatever you want to, but at the end the fact is that last year he played like, how much, 79 minutes, something like that. In total with this season as well, he played like 200 minutes. The player that should have give something to Juve, because we know the strength of Paul on the field, well, it's the player that is missing. And today in the midfield, you know, it's tough, huh? If you don't have, for example, the game of tomorrow, if you don't have and Paul Pogba and Chiesa and Vlahovic, the value of your entire team is changing. It's a fact. So it's not an excuse. We have to fight. We have to do better. We have to try to find someone in January that can possibly replace Paul Pogba. But it's true that the game of tomorrow, if you are playing it with a Paul, with Fede, and with Dusan, it's another game. It's another game. So we have to accept it and we have to move on. I will probably do more stand-up videos because that one of Paul, it's difficult to digest. For me, for a big Paul Pogba fan, it's difficult to speak about it. Anyway, ragazzi, thank you for following the channel. If you didn't yet watch the video of this morning, because it was fantastic. Well, I mean, fantastic. I worked a lot on it, so I would appreciate it. And if not, put a maximum of like on this one. Subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza. Juve.